Hey y'all, this is your girl Des, another video. Sometimes you just need to sit there. I'm serious. A lot of times you just need to sit there and just think about your life and think about really what's on your mind. We're in the times where everything is uncertain. We don't know if we coming or we going. But understand that the battle is still within yourself more than anything else. You have to get clear about what you're thinking about. You have to be clear about what your wants are. You have to be clear about what your needs are. Because if you don't, everything around it suffers. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy nature, look around and just think about your life. We don't take a lot of time to do that. We spend most of our time working and doing what we have to do to survive, but you're going to regret that later. What's life really about? What's it about? Is it about me working that 9 to 5? Is it? Is it about me getting my 401k, my pension plan? Is it? Because if that's all, then we all are just robots. Really, just think about it. You get up, you punch that clock, you sit there daydreaming the whole day. Or you just can't wait to punch out because you already checked out before you clocked in. Why is that? Why is that? Sometimes we, for the most part, just go along with what we've been told, thinking that it's safe, that it's familiar. So why not trust it? Everyone else says so. Everyone else says get a college degree and you'll have all the money in the world and you could build that dream house and have that big fancy car and travel all around the world. But who actually prepares you for that? This country is made to sell you on these dreams, but they don't tell you the formula. This is why so many people live mediocre lives and never doubt it, never question it. But why don't you? It's on your mind. You think about it every day. Is this all that life is about? I don't feel fulfilled. I'm not happy. I'm feeling lost. And if anything, I'm feeling pretty lonely. Why is it that as I'm following the crowd, there's a big dark cloud above me, screaming for me to get out? Why is that? And more importantly, why do I choose to ignore that voice? Why is it not important to me to make changes in my life? Why is it not important for me to find people that have led successful lives beyond being in the herd, being in a crowd of people? Following the crowd is never the answer. They say that for a reason. They teach you that when you're a kid, but at the same time, they still teach you to follow that crowd. It's that programming. The program is to stay put. The program is to get this money and be happy with it. The program is you're not going to get more, so just keep working as hard as you can and just hope to God that you don't have to be 75 before you retire. Does that sound like a good life to you? It doesn't sound like a good life to me. It really doesn't. You don't have to be old to retire. You can retire at a young age if you learn the formula to life itself. And I tell you what, that formula is not following this crowd. That formula is not doing your 9 to 5 every day. I guarantee you that. The formula is self-discovery. It sounds far-fetched now, doesn't it? The biggest and hardest hurdle is jumping over yourself, your own thoughts, because not only do you have to separate yourself from the program that's been instilled within you since you couldn't even mutter a word yet. So now you have to deactivate that and then learn and understand that you're not made to appeal to everybody else's wants and needs. See, coming up in this system, it really teaches you to please the crowd, and that the dreams that are instilled upon you or told to you are the ones that you're supposed to engage in. It doesn't teach you about self-discovery. It doesn't teach you to love or appreciate yourself. Because you see, if you learn that formula, then you won't follow the crowd of people. Following a crowd of people allows others above that to actually enjoy that life that you dream about. They're on the island. They're relaxing. Haven't had to punch a clock in over 10, 15 years. Why is that? And most importantly, most people don't want to tell you what it takes to get there because they don't want to share that spot with you. They could care less if you're struggling. They could care less if you're thousands of dollars in debt. They could care less if you're still working when you're supposed to be retired and relaxing and enjoying life. Excuse me, got flies out here. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself. You are. But you have to believe that. If you think that job is going to get you there, then more power to you. If you think working that 9 to 5 or putting that extra time in, your 12-hour shifts, whatever you're doing, and you're just going to save enough money and you're going to get to relax, that's not the truth. It's not. You can have all the money in the world. But if you haven't worked on yourself inside, it wasn't even worth it. So what I want you to understand is you need to think about that stuff now. It doesn't mean to quit your job just yet. It means to build on your dreams. That's what it means. Nobody else is going to build for you. Nobody else is going to tell you that you're worth more than how you're living right now. You have to put yourself in that correct circle. The people who are willing to share. Like myself. I'm willing to share with you what you need to do in order to have a fulfilling life. I don't think that it's right to keep that to yourself. As I learn, I let you know. Because we're all humans, aren't we? And don't think I didn't come from that. Don't think that my programming isn't sometimes even tries to backfire on me about how I belong in the system. How I belong to be like everybody else, and why am I so different? I don't question that anymore. There's no purpose in it. Everybody has an opinion. It doesn't mean that I have to believe them or entertain them. I've done it long enough. It's gotten me into a position of depression, hopelessness, and just a passive life. Thinking I couldn't make it, I couldn't build off of what I have. And there's no kind of way. The funny thing is, a lot of those tools are right in front of you. But if your mind doesn't think so, you can be sitting right next to it and don't even realize it. That's how powerful your mind is. That's like standing in front of an open door saying, I can't get out. I just can't get out this door. And the door is wide open. It's your mindset more than anything. Your mind will tell you that that door is closed and that there's no way of getting through. Or there's something behind the door that you shouldn't even take time to find out what's back there. Because it's nothing but doom, or you're in danger if you go that way. That's how life works too. Anytime you try to do something different, your mind is going to tell you that you shouldn't. But don't be mad at your mind. It's been programmed for a very long time. All it needs is your time and your maintenance to help it to rebuild and restore what's really meant to be. Why do you think kids are so happy? They can have a good time. Anytime, kids can have a good time because they're not fully programmed. And when they're really, really young, they're not programmed at all. They're not programmed at all. They get up, they run around, they have fun, they be themselves. They're not worried about anything. They explore. That's really how we're meant to be. It's not a childish thing to be a happy person. It's not a childish thing to be optimistic about life and about things that you can engage in. You don't have to be a miserable person to prove that you're an adult or that you take responsibilities or that you're a realist or nah. More than anything, most of us adults are pessimistic people. That's the truth. We're pessimistic, we're miserable, and we want everybody else to be miserable because we're miserable. We haven't found our purpose. We haven't found what we were supposed to do with our lives, and we don't know how to enjoy ourselves because we don't even realize that we're programmed. That's an illness. I don't care what nobody say. That's an illness for you to feel that way and think that way, and to look at the world as you walk around and look at everybody's face, just trying to get through the day. You call that the walking dead. That's what you call that. You don't say, oh, they're getting their hustle and their grind on and this and that. No. They may be making some money, but they're not happy people. If you're not happy, what's the point in engaging in those things? But for some reason, we feel that we have to. That's part of the programming. Program tells you to continue where you are and that nothing is really wrong. Get back to work. Think about it for a minute. Have you ever watched that movie? What's the name of that movie? It's a kids movie. It's called, I think it's called Ants or something like that. When watching that movie, you really look at how the world really operates, to be honest. I mean, when the movie starts off, when the child is born, they decide if whether you're a worker or I forget the other position, but it's like you work in a mine or you work in the field or something like that. They decide from as soon as you come out what your position is going to be. And for some reason, we look past the program like it's just harmless. If anything, it's the worst program. It's the worst thing that you can do to a human being. It's to program them to think that they're supposed to be miserable and working themselves to death. Do you hear me? Listen to what I just said. That's a very miserable thing. To program people to think that they have to work as long as possible to maintain. This is called survival instinct. You're not meant to just be in survival mode your whole life. Things come up, sure. Disasters happen, sure. Unexpected things happen all the time. But how about being miserable on top of that and then bad things happening? This is why people start becoming suicidal. Because you're already negative and that everything negative is going on around you and no one shows you how to cope. No one shows you how to deal with that. So then when one thing comes up, you already are at your edge. You at the edge of your ropes. Seriously. You're like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know what my purpose is. And I know I don't have much longer. You know how dangerous it is to think that way? But the program will never tell you that. They would just say, come on, come join this pity party of how life sucks. And about how the whole world sucks and everyone's out to get you. And nothing is ever going to change, so we're just going to have to be strong and just deal with it now, aren't we? Now let's get back to work. Listen to the programming. Just in those words itself. How many people do you see at work that's miserable as hell? They got stuff going on in their life and they hate the job they're going to. Because they follow the program. We all follow the program. It's ingrained. It's called public school. It's called social influence. Social influence, public school. You've been institutionalized since you've been born. Why do you think they have a heavy hand on where you are when you're a child? Why do you think they have a heavy hand on where you are when you're an adult? They want you to belong to an institution of labor. Don't tell me you never thought that. What would it be like if you just didn't work? Don't tell me you never thought that. And then don't tell me that you never thought, oh, but if I don't do that, then I can't pay my bills. If I don't do that, then how am I supposed to buy this home? If I don't work, then how am I going to get this job? If I don't do this, then how am I going to retire? And yeah, but why don't you talk to the people that actually went through that and see where it's gotten them? The happiest people that I see are people that ain't working. Or at least doing something that they absolutely love doing that doesn't feel like working. If you painting, if you interior designing and you build houses, whatever it is that you like doing, who told you that you couldn't indulge in that and that it won't make you money? Nobody. Your conscience didn't ask you about money. Your mind tells you what you're good at because you make an impact in where that area is. But no, they want to teach you to, no, that's just a fantasy. You can't get there. You don't have the money, you don't have the resources. Get back to work. I want y'all to really think about this. I want you to really think about it. And it's not going to be like a 24-hour change that you're going to have. But if you really sit down with yourself and think about everything around you and how everyone really operates, you start to realize that this is some kind of, it's like a haze over people. It's almost like a spell-like sense of misery. No energy, low frequency thinking. And when you're around those people, creativity is almost never in the picture. Which is my next subject. Energy has a lot to do with everything. How your energy is given off is how other people will receive it directly. Energy is something that you can't lie about. It's something that's there, and everyone has the sense to determine what kind of energy you're giving out. Now, some people will take on that energy, and then they'll escalate it on their own accord. Or some people are smart enough to say, you know what? I don't like the energy that I'm getting from you. It's very dark. It's very draining energy that you're bringing to my inner circle. And because you have that, I'm going to remove myself from the situation because I don't want to share that vibration with you. It's the truth. That's why they always say to work with people with high vibration. High vibration means people that are self-sufficient and people that take chances and people that take the time to build and learn about themselves, to give freely and receive freely into the world, to indulge into their being. Why not be around somebody like that? Why not? You're around them long enough, you get the influence. That's the point. Start doing your calculations. Look at your own energy. Start looking at the people around you and check their energy. You don't have to talk. Sit there quietly and just listen. Look around you. You'll start to notice. And then it'll make perfect sense of how you got to where you are. When you're around people with low frequency, which means that they're pessimistic, that they're not creative, it's not that they don't have the ability, but they put all their energy in what they can't do. Keep being around people like that and see where it gets you. It's time to start thinking outside the box. Think about it. You don't like where you are? There's no reason to beat yourself up about it. I promise you, because it just wastes more time. All you have to do is look at it, evaluate it, take a step back, and think about how you feel. How do you feel when you're around this person? How do you feel when you're around yourself, more importantly? All of that stuff plays a role. You need high energy individuals around you to entice your creativity, to help you to build your skills. Get creative and build your dream. Desire to dream. That's the name of my program. If you're interested, make sure you send me a message, a direct message, to Mahogany D. I'll show you the path. I'll show you the way. is so much better than what you're looking at right now. I promise you that. And any kind of negative thought that's creeping into your head, just let it come. Because it's going to keep on coming the more you try to build your life. That's another truth that I want to tell you. Just because you take that step of changing your life and, okay, I want to vibrate with high frequency people. All right, I'm ready to go. Yeah, you're going to be ready to go. Give it a couple of days. And your mind will go right back to trying to talk you out of it. Be prepared for that. Be prepared to have someone to talk to also when you start feeling down already. It's going to keep creeping up on you because it's been a habit for however long you've been dealing with it. That's another thing. Don't feel bad about that either. Don't feel bad about that. That's the situation that we have found ourselves in because of how everything was uniquely designed to make us miserable. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. There's so many levels to different things, and the more you're with high frequency people, you start to notice how low frequency you've been operating. Seriously. You're around people that have their own business and they have their own stuff going, and you're like, where the heck have I been at? In the same place they've been at, to be honest. It's just that they chose to indulge into self-actualization. They decided to take it a step further. Don't think that they don't have stuff that they have to fight. Everybody has a mental block or something that they have to push through in order to convince them that they can make it to wherever they're trying to go. So I just want to tell you that when you want to change your life, don't think it's just going to be boom, I changed my life. No. You think I don't have thoughts? You think I don't have stuff that come up and tell me I'm not worth it? That I don't have the ability? And what is the purpose of me even running my mouth right now? Do you know how many times that happened to me? Oh, please. If I could tell you the many times that happened. And how many times I have to talk myself out of the original program of thought, which is you can't, you won't. Listen to me. It's going to take a while to change this. But keep yourself around that environment. The good environment I'm talking about. And after a while, it'll start becoming a habit. Just like it was starting to become a habit for you to think badly, it will become a habit for you to think good too. And at first you may feel guilty about it. You know what I mean, us ladies. I know how it is. Oh, I don't want people to think that I'm, selfish. I don't want people to think that I'm full of myself. And, well, if I live better, then what about them? And it's not. It's not about making yourself better than somebody else. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with building a structure that is surrounded by your uniqueness. If it is your dream to help others to get there, then put your energy into that. But don't do it out of guilt, because then you're going to resent your productivity later. Well, guys, as you can see, it's a beautiful day. Look at these bamboo trees in my yard. I don't know if you can see it right there, right there. So much to enjoy in this life. It's too much to enjoy to sit back sulking. And when you do, take your butt outside. Get some sunlight. Good for you. Get that vitamin D. All right, guys. Until next time. Love you.